There's a chance I didn't do that. Okay, so we'll begin now. Always start your notebook after what we last did. Okay, so since the last thing that we did was the diagram, then you would start session 1.2 after the diagram. A quick kind of update. No, let's do this first. So let's breathe. And let's take 30 seconds to focus on one spot. Okay, I think I messed up the ponderance today, which I did. Yeah, so let me adjust those real quick. I'm going to show you what happens when when you miss time. So whatever day you miss, you go to your Schoology page. So like, for example, Geronimo missed yesterday. Carlota's missed 2 days. Amelia R has missed 2 days. So you go to your course, and then, who are we, 5? What will happen is there'll be I wonder if it's even on your calendar, because I made it a calendar event. No, that's too bad. So here it'll say an assignment. Obviously, it'll pop up as an assignment for everybody. The due date is the end of the quarter, or the quarter. So you have time to do it. It doesn't count. I'm not going to, you don't have to do anything if you don't need to do it. But basically what you'll do, if I know I missed session 1.1, there's a video of the lesson. So I'm recording one right now. I recorded one yesterday. I'll upload that to YouTube. I'll embed it here. So you can watch the lesson again. And I'll put this, the slideshow, and I'll put the slideshow there so that you can be responsible. You can also, if you're struggling with your notebook, or you just want to watch it again, you can update your notebook there at home as well. Okay, so that's your responsibility. So Hero, you are responsible. It's your responsibility to go and watch that lesson so you can catch up. I mean, before too long. You don't want to get too far past, because you need to set up your notebook and all sorts of things. No, I'm sure of it. Most of us are. Okay, again, what we do, this is why we're here. So that's why I invite you, whatever's going on, like, don't bring that in. Okay, try and leave it out in the hallway. If you can't solve something or something's bothering you, that's totally legitimate reason to go to the counselor, take a break, or do something. Okay, because when you bring it in here, you're just violating this first agreement about all in the same place for everybody, including me. It's not safe for me when I'm talking when people are talking to each other. It's not. I start to worry what's going on. I wonder what's happening. Okay, so it becomes unsafe for me. And third, it becomes unsafe for other people who won't say anything because you're distracting them. Oops, sorry. And we can't thrive like that. Okay, so you and what you're doing is important. And I'm sure there's reasons for it. I have no doubt. Okay? But there's other people here. Like I tell my dog in the morning when she's barking at me to be fed, which she does all the time. All the time she barks when it's dinner time or breakfast. And she's convinced that when she barks she gets fed. She's a dog. She doesn't know any better. But that's not the reason. Like I feed her because it's important, and that's what she. So I tell her, I was like, listen, Churchill, you're really, really important. You're not Churchill. We didn't name her. We would have named her Senorita Gagetta, but that's it. What did? You're important, but you're not the most important. Right? She's part of the system. She's part of the family. Other things have to happen. So just like you are all very important, but you're not the most important. I'm important. I'm not the most important. We as a community are the most important. And that's something to think about. Like here. Cool. So, what did the vibrations of the tuning fork cause? Elena PV.
Waves.
Waves. Awesome. Miguel, what 3 things did the waves from the first tuning fork cause? Sound. Okay. Can you think of the other 2?
No.
Oh, I almost caught it. Try it again. Can you think of the other 2? One.
Movement.
Okay. What moved?
The wind.
Ah, like the air.
Waves
Okay.
make that wind move.
So what actual objects moved?
It's sound.
Because we said sound and move. What 2 things did it move?
It moved the tuning fork.
And
The wind.
Oh. The ball. You are right. Like the wave does move the wind, but it was that ball that kind of set the wind. So what was the other things, Miguel? You don't remember? Talk to Amalia. What did it move, Amalia? The ball. What did it move? You all need to pass something to each other? Because you just keep going behind Paul Martin. So I don't know if you're trying to like stick something there, like flip his chair back or what. So again, if you could kind of just stop it, I'd appreciate it. Yeah. All right, cool. Fill in the blanks. Vibrating materials can make blank, and blank can make materials vibrate. Jose? Sound. That's it. Just sound. So vibrating materials can make sound, and sound can make materials vibrate. What question should we ask ourselves to see if a part of a phenomenon is important? Martin? Number 4. Okay, good. Effective. So this idea, Miguel, can we do that later? Please sit down so you can pay attention. Unless it's like an emergency. Are you sharpening your pencil? So would that be a tardy? So this idea, does it change the phenomenon? I think if it was missing. Or if it changed itself. And what does a scale model mean?
It's the same but
Much smaller, okay? We try to be the same. All right, 2 things to ponder. What are microscopic things, and what are the limitations of a model? Or I can have that ready and read about my son. Limitations, like limits. What's the problem? What's the problem with a model? You know, necessarily supposed to know this stuff? You just starting the thing. We're going to starting point 7.
we're going to do a 10-minute background mini lesson about microscopic things. Again, this could have something to do with the phenomena, it might not. Don't read into anything. We're going to start investigating the phenomena. We have the scale model set up, so you will be doing some investigations today. You'll be doing some more notes about wonderings and noticings. We're going to think about similarities and differences between the scales and the real thing. And we'll end that part of it with a wondering, and we're going to be able to talk about the next session that we have. And then the alert for the next session that we have, which is, do we see each other on Monday or Tuesday?
Yes, we fricción.
Day C, we do. So you will have your first official big thing, 30-question test on Tuesday. It's all the mini thing questions. I'm not going to change. The only one I will change is the average. I'm going to change the numbers of that question. There will be a study sheet. There will be a spreadsheet because that's the easiest thing for me to do, so that you can see the questions and answers, and you can have a time to study, or you cannot. And like some of us that just are here and present are going to do well on it. You don't necessarily have to study, but some people will have to. And that'll be on Tuesday. Yes, ma'am. This first one will be the first 30 questions that we ask. So that's why I waited. And then after that, it'll be every 5th meeting. So it'll be different. So I'll put some updates on Schoology so that you know. Hold on a second. Max was very patient with his handbook. And then we'll go to the meeting. So hold on. You don't have to do anything. It might affect your academic responsibility grade. I have to see. Yeah. I'm going to talk to some people about it and get a good sense of things. Yep.
It's going to be a summative grade.
Ah, I see what you're saying. I don't know. That's what you meant. I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't think it'll be summative. But I do think it should have some like academic responsibility stuff going on. Because it seems like if you're being academically responsible, you should do well. Does that make sense? So I think that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to talk to some people first. Yep.
The academic responsibility is that we don't have to get the questions right, but we have to at least have to try.
Yeah, for that test, you'll probably, in my head right now, if you want to know, I'm thinking like 20 at least out of 30 you should be able to do if you're paying attention and doing the least amount of work. And if everything's fine. Does that make sense? So it might have something to do with the amount of points you get. Cool. Maybe. I'm going to talk. What's the best thing to do? Awesome. So we're going to talk about microscopic things. Microscopic things are anything in the world that we cannot see with our eyes. We have to have a microscope. Okay, a little thing to look under that, and then you can see it. And sometimes there's like really cool microscopes, like a electron microscope. Okay, so our world is filled with things we cannot see. One of the more important things is a cell. So all living things, you, me, plants, animals, everything that's alive is made up of cells. You have skin cells, hair cells, organs, heart cells, liver cells, muscle cells, bone cells. Everything is made up of these little cells. Okay? They're all over the place. You have billions of them probably. Okay, just in your body. But we can't see them. You look down and see them. Clothes are not living. Bacteria can be our friend. Can also be our enemy, depending on what kind of bacteria it is. We're covered in bacteria. Please don't freak out. It's really important for you to have all this bacteria on you. You have like billions in your stomach. It's really good. Sometimes our diet can mess up the bacteria in there, and then we have real problems. Real problems. That's the whole thing about the United States right now with their flour that they eat. They put a lot of chemicals on it, and then those chemicals ruin their gut biome, and that's why people kind of gain weight and all that stuff. So you've got your bacteria is really important. Some bacteria is bad. Or it's not bad, it's just going to make us sick. I shouldn't say it's bad. That would be awful. Like, hey, bacteria, you're doing your job and you're bad. No, that's not cool. So, like, if you leave chicken out, you leave meat out, and it gets rotted, that's bacteria. It's doing its job. Right? It's trying to help out the world doing its system. But if you ate that, it would be bad. Viruses. All right, viruses. It's interesting. Some people think they're living, some people think they're don't. They're not. They can only survive for a long period of time if they're inside a living thing. So they go inside the living thing and then they reproduce over and over and over again. Okay? If they're not inside a living thing, they will die at some point. But if they're inside a living thing, they will die. They will live until what? That host dies or the host gets rid of it. The atom now is part of everything. So cells are made of atoms, clothes, like you said, are made of atoms, the bacteria are made of atoms, we are made of atoms, the gas, everything around you is completely chock full of atoms. It's pretty amazing. Remember, the cell is the building block of life. The atom is what makes everything. Okay, so that's why the atom wouldn't be called the building block of life, because non-living things have atoms. And then finally for today, the molecule. So molecules are multiple atoms combined together. They're cool. Water would be a molecule, you know. Those are 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, H2O. Okay, so element. I may have said that wrong. Is water a molecule or as a molecule? Cool. Take a moment to anchor your memory. It's like a fax machine, like a copy machine. You know how you put a copy machine in, and it makes a bunch of copies? It's like that. It takes over cells and then reproduces. Inside of those. Animals. Because remember, like there's viruses in animals. Bats, horses. Take a moment, write down what you remember. Was anything true or important to you? Just write down the last 6 minutes. Why might it be true and important? Does it connect to something you already knew? It comes off, you know. We're going to move on. Okay. Scale models. So we talked about that in the last session. Has any of you ever had experience with a scale model or building a scale model?
Yes.
Has anyone ever, raise your hand if you have. Martina, what have you done? What have you used? You've seen a scale model. What's that? Hold on a second. Martina's very capable of talking. So we're going to listen to Martina, and then if somebody else has some stuff, we can do that. Huh? Okay. You're going to be a model out of what? Assembly model. Cool. Yeah. Juan Martin, and then Rafa, and then Marcos. Did you have something to say? Juan Martin?